Welcome everyone to a 40k unboxing. Today it's an unboxing and tactical review of the Space Marine Hammerfall Bunker. Now straight away you can tell that this thing looks like it's the love child of a whirlwind and a drop pod, because it's got the classic drop pod shape here, and it kind of looks like a drop pod's been turned upside down at this stage. And mechanically section a bit like it as well, and the whirlwind top. So, let's have a look at the back. It's actually sunny here today, which is unheard of. And you can see some nice artwork on the back at the top there, next to everybody's favourite, the ATV. Yeah, it does say it comes with weapon variants, so you can go with either the heavy bolter or some flamers. Now this thing is quite interesting. Obviously it's classed as a fortification, so it can't move, but it is quite interesting. There is a rule on this thing that I did not see coming. I really did not. Which could really change the way you could use this thing on the table. It could be quite irritating. We'll get to that in a second, but first we'll open up and look at the sprue itself. So let's see if I can trash the box. Me and packaging do not get on. No instructions at all, so good luck. I'm joking, no instructions. No transfer sheet though. Not needed. Okay, so there is the glorious Hammerfall Bunker. Looks like a nice day there as well. Okay, so some big pieces. This thing looks like it's going to be quite the beast on the table actually. It's kind of like the mechanical version of the Sporocyst Tyranids have that no one ever plays. But no, definitely looks quite whirlwind-esque with those pieces there. There you go, there's your flamer variant. Your heavy bolter. Not masses of detail on this, but I am actually quite surprised how much there is, because I thought it was just going to be big flat panels. But you can see some kind of nodes and piping, a grill and a vent on the side there. Obviously the Aquila. Wouldn't be Imperial without the Aquila. You can see that really is half whirlwind. So there isn't masses of pieces to this one. There is a lot of large panels. It's going to take up a lot of foot space on the table. Alright, we'll get into the rules. Looks fairly easy to assemble. Doesn't look like there's going to be many small fiddly pieces. Little aerial on the back there. Good old rocket pods. Excellent. Right, okay, so this is new, so we haven't got to worry about are these rules currently in date, because we know they are. So, the Hammerfall Bunker. So it can be deteriorated, it can suffer wounds and drop the profile. So as you can imagine, there is no close combat with this thing. It's all about the shooting. And by that I mean this thing hits on a 4-up. When it starts taking damage, then it's 5, then it's 6s. So yeah, I mean that's not the best in the world, but hey ho. So this is the new layout for the rules, whereas before it would actually tell you what's on the sheet a little bit clearer. I think this isn't quite so easy to read. I mean, that's fairly obvious, that's a shield, so that's the 3-up save. That doesn't deteriorate. That's the leadership. That doesn't deteriorate. And then it shows you a picture of that weapon there. Does so many attacks. It's strength 5, hence the fist, apparently that means strength, minus 1 AP, 2 damage, because it is a heavy bolter. And then you've got 2, which is the flamer, and it's D6, number of shots, strength 5, AP 1, damage 1. So you see it's a little bit different now. They have symbols like this, that means range. That means the mechanics of shooting, the strength, the armor penetration. So it's a little bit of a different layout than before. But what it doesn't tell you is the points. So this thing, whatever option you equip it with, be it the heavy bolter or the flamers, it's 175 points. So for 175 points, yes, you get those heavy bolters. For example, you get those 3 shots, and that does explain it fairly clearly, but I like the good old-fashioned layout it was before, because it actually says the proper rules in the index, and on Battlescribe if you're using Battlescribe, for example. But here it does not say the additional rule, which I think makes a whole world of difference, because looking at that you think, yeah, it's okay, it's alright. But its defensive array ability is the best thing out of all of its rules, I believe. In your shooting phase, each time this model is selected to shoot, its Hammerfall Heavy Bolter array or Heavy Flamer can target and resolve attacks against every eligible enemy unit. Each time this model fires Overwatch, it only resolves attacks with its weapons against the charging unit, but when it does, the type of the Hammerfall Heavy Bolter is changed to Heavy 6 rather than Heavy 3, and the Flamers are 2d6. So, if you're stupidly going to charge this thing, and this thing is equipped with Flamers, that's going to be a lot of flaming shots and a lot of heavy bolters. So rather than 6 heavy bolter shots, rather than 3 heavy bolter shots, it's going to be 6 heavy bolter shots, which is epic. And the flamer is going to be 2d6 number of flaming shots, which I think is really, really good. But, like I said, in the shooting phase, when it does shoot, it shoots every eligible enemy target. Now that's great. Alright, that's only on the heavy bolters and the heavy flamers. It does specifically say that. Its Hammerfall Heavy Bolter array or the Heavy Flamer can target and resolve attacks against every eligible enemy unit. So this thing, if it's surrounded, if you stupidly put models within 12 of the Heavy Flamers and didn't get into combat, or range, I think it's 36, range 36 with the Heavy Bolters, then you get to shoot every eligible enemy on the table. So it goes from, yeah, alright, you've got 3 heavy bolter shots, yeah, okay, whatever. And it's got a fair range to it as well. And then you've got the actual missiles itself. So you've got Super Frag or Super Crack. So it's 72 inches on either one of those. The Super Frag is 2d6 and it's blast. And it's strength 6, no AP, but it's damage 1. So in the first turn you would get an AP in your heavy doctrine. That's pretty nice. And that's going to be messing up some guard, Tau, Gene Stealers. How even Space Marines aren't going to like that, because alright, it's only 1 damage each, but strength 6, you can wound on 3s. It's got blast as well, which is pretty nice. But the Super Crack is 2 heavy shots, strength 10, minus 2 d6. So like I said, first turn, the AP is going to be 3. So you're going to be wounding your tanks on 3s. It's d6. So you get 2 nice shots on there in the first turn. That's pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty. But the defensive array, that's pretty nice. So you could just sit there all game and just irritate people, which I think is pretty cool. So it's got Angels of Death, and it's got the explodes on a 6. So within 6 inches, d6 more wounds, usual thing. That's pretty tasty. It's toughness 8, so it's not going to be that easy to get rid of. It's got 14 wounds. So yeah, this thing really is a bunker. It's pretty hard. So if anybody comes within this thing, within 36 with your heavy bows, for example, you can just shoot every eligible enemy target. That is great. And that's not on here. That's in the Codex. That's on Battlescribe. Things like that. Which is a shame that they don't put that on there. And I know they've got this new layout and everything. And I might be a bit old-fashioned and I'm not used to it yet. You know, I'm not great with change, you know. But I just prefer like the movement, weapon skill, ballistic skill, you know, that old layout. I'll soon get used to it. And if you're new into this hobby, you're probably used to it already and you're like, this old guy, you know. But hey ho. I just don't like the fact that they didn't put that amazing rule on there, because initially you'd think, oh, there's a few bolter shots, a few missiles. It's okay. It's okay. I think this is pretty good. You know, you're not going to be running around the battlefield grabbing objectives, and in 9th edition, you really want to be grabbing those objectives. But it's pretty good. If someone really needs to get rid of it, they're probably not going to charge it because they're going to get messed up. And you could shoot off the table, great. I mean, melters are really strong in this edition because it is toughness 8, so you're wounding on 4s, unless you're salamanders, you're wounding on 3s. But 14 wounds, it's not going to be easy to get rid of. Alright, it's got no invulnerable, it's only got a 3-up save. But being Space Marine, you could easily put a 5-up invulnerable on it. You know, it's going to make people think twice. But you're probably going to have to get rid of it, because this thing is just going to rain down hot death. I mean, the super crack is pretty good. You might be able to get a few lucky shots off. But the light shots is where it's at. I say light, heavy bolter isn't that light anymore. Having 2 damage. It's going to mess up some Space Marines. It's pretty damn good. I didn't buy it really for the rules. I bought it because I've got to collect every Space Marine thing. And I do think it does look pretty cool. Initially when I first saw it, I did think, you know, someone's just flipped a drop pod upside down. I mean, you could use up the bits of drop pods, you know, because no one ever uses them, right? That being said, I think drop pods are making a comeback. It's nice to see the old Marines with the extra wounds and everything being dropped on the table in the manner they're supposed to. But yeah, let me know how you guys get on with this thing. Not necessarily just assembling it, but how well you think it performs on the table. I do think, you know, in the first turn in the Heavy Doctrine, this thing is going to be pretty wicked. I'm not sure how it's going to perform for the rest of the game, but we will see. Obviously, it can't move, so it might be a bit of a, I've put that in the wrong place kind of moment, and that's where it's staying. And people might just ignore it and walk around it for the rest of the game. But I think if positioned correctly, this thing could be a bit irritating. I mean, it is in the fortification section, so I can't imagine there's going to be loads on the table. But we will see. We will see. Thank you very much for watching as always, guys. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And remember, more importantly, hobby safe and take care of yourselves. Cheers, guys. See you on the next one.